Right, welcome back. Next part. I had to cut that last one short so there was no particular ending to it because I got disturbed, so we're going to start another one. All I'm trying to do right now is change the angle of this tee shot. I want to get more of that rock working so it's more like this sort of view. So we're just trying to widen this fairway. At the minute, there's a lot of stuff I've got to delete, but I'm trying to just create a little area. I'm going to have to bring it out to around here, I think, the fairway, to get the angle I want. And we'll have to try and work out some hazards and things. And a bit more sculpting. If I bring it out to say there, flatten that off a little bit. Try that one. Make it a bit more gradual. Say there. Should now be able to bring that waypoint over a lot more. Hopefully get the angle I want. So, I don't know why, but I'm finding it quite hard to do this on camera. I think it works a bit quicker when you're sort of just working by yourself on your own. Whereas when I'm doing it like this, it's a kind of, it's not pressure, but it's just finding it a little bit more difficult. It's a bit like all those YouTubers who actually do the playing. I always wonder how they do it while they're playing. So let's get this going. Because I haven't actually got a specific theme. Well, I have got a theme for what we're doing, but you know what I mean, I'm just doing it off the cuff rather than having a specific idea. So I'm wondering if I can bring that right over here now. I can leave a tiny little bit of fairway that people might want to hit. It would be incredibly risky. And we can also, really in theory, drop it down a bit now, this side, say there. So this is a way to get rid of this stuff. I'm sure most of you know this. Go to there, the first one, filters. I'm going to turn off everything except my objects, lock them all. So that's all locked, only my objects. I want to get rid of all this stuff along here, so now I've turned that off, I can go area select by clicking that one, and it'll just highlight all that stuff rather than trying to do it individually. Get rid of all that rock work, all those bushes and grass. Delete selection, that's that done pretty much. Oh, there's a couple more still around, but hey hey. Could just do those individually. Yeah, a few. That's it. That's that bit done. There's a couple there, but we can get rid of those in a bit. Do for a minute. So to get the angle I want, let's take those filters back off again. The surface edits you can see, water you can see, course layout you can see, sculpt terrain edits is locked, and overlays is ghosted, so that's fine. Okay, so create surfaces fairway. Because I've got that little bit of open land there, it's not letting me change my tee shot view. We just need to flatten that a little bit. Let's have a look at our tee shot view. We're getting the right line now. We're getting that. We're definitely, I think, going to need to smooth. I added a few different splines in there, didn't I? We need secondary surface roughs, obviously. Light roughs even. And we're also going to need a heavy rough going along the edge there. There's a lot more sculpting to do on that bit, but we're trying to get the angle at the moment, so we're going to need another trap or something over this side. And we'll have to cut that beach in again. That faux beach. It's also given us an opportunity to put a bit more rock work at the front here. We're going to terrain paint grass, I think, and we'll just bring the intensity back. Just take out all this, get rid of that white bit. And we'll bring the intensity back. So this white bit here, subsoil sand. Let's get rid of all those. That was just where I spammed them in for that blooming faux beach. I spammed in loads, didn't I? So let's add a bit more down here. I want the grass topsoil. Just trying to get an idea of what's happening here. Take that back. That's cool. I think I'm going to do this edge along here just for a minute. We'll probably come back and take this out once I start building up the course over here, but at the moment I just want to get the view of it looking a bit nicer. From my tee shot. I'm also going to flatten that bit out over there, because in theory I could do like another faux bit of beach going along. They're not beaches, but they're just sort of the edges. If you know what I mean. I'll leave it like that for a minute and we'll just draw in the dirt. All in here. Out to over there. That gets that bit going. Just makes that look a bit more interesting, that's all. That's all we're doing there. And I might just do that little area behind quick. Definitely down there. We'll do it up to about here. Edit and take it out. Okay, now we're getting a nice rough texture going through that. We'll just have to re-sculpt this little bit, bring this beach back up here, bring this rock work a bit more defined, not rock work, but the cliff edge, so we can do that planting again and bring a little bit more of that faux beach back through to about here, and then do some rock work here, I think. I think you're starting to get an idea now. I'm starting to get an idea now of what I want to do. My waypoint's got to be there, but I do want to put like a some sort of faux bunker in here. That's going to be about 300 yards, so you really need to hit this centre spot, but then we can make some interesting sort of sculpting, sort of, so we can work out ways of making the sculpting more of a hindrance. Let's get a bunker in here. We've already got a bit of sand there, so we can just start to raise up that a little bit. Get that raised up, and then we'll dip it down. So about that. And then we will get a bit of the heavy rough going. Try that for a second. A bit more. Just along this leading edge. Could even add another bunker in the middle of the fairway, I think. Make it more interesting. Which we would have to drag one of these points over. That one. Lots of splines now. Get that over, that's about 286. Move that. Just trying to find that one so I can move that blooming hand. So I can add another bunker if I can just find that heavy rough spline there. Move that handle, curve it out of the way. Get another blooming bunker in here. But not bunker, Steve. Terrain painting. Just whack a bit in there for a minute. That wind, do I carry the bunker? Tight. So look at the views back the other way. I do like the theme, but the course has got to come a lot lower. This is a tricky start. We are struggling a little bit, aren't we? We'll get it to come together somehow in the end. It'll work. Let's get this back up. Get that rockwork showing again. All that little stone bits. Definitely want to add a bit around here. There again. Right into this little bay here. Don't want no water showing. Right, that should do for that. I'm going to get rid of all the sand. So I spammed in loads, so if I select it all, get rid of it, we can always work it back up again. Let's get rid of that for now. Let's create the dirt back in along here. Let's get rid of all our sand, isn't it? Splines it won't, so that's fine. Better off splining a bit here. But we definitely need to think about brushing it in, because I can't get this bit dark because I've definitely got too much dirt under there somewhere. It's definitely going to be a bit of that dirt that I put in. Just got to find the spline for it. Should be back here somewhere. Subsoil dirt there. So all I need to do is move these points blooming around here to get rid of it, so I can get that back white again. I wouldn't recommend putting in as many spline points, as many splines as I'm putting in. As you can see, it's a flipping nightmare. And there'll be a bedrock one there as well now that I need to get rid of. So I've got to find that, and that'll make that blooming bunker back white again. Because at the moment, well, I saw it there. Just looking on the left, there it is. So I'm going to delete that whole thing, and that should bring our bunker back to being more white, hopefully. No, there's still loads of bedrock in it. Ooh, this is tricky. Proper tricky. Oh, bedrock spline. Yeah, I can see what I need to do there. Delete that one. Now it should, yeah. Now we've got what we really want. Okay, that was easy, wasn't it? So, now I've got that how we want it, like the colour of the texture of the sand. We've just got to manipulate the bunker a little bit, but we can do that. I want to bring, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten that off first so I can get that a bit smoother through there like that. And then we can just drop in the bunker a little bit so it tapers in. Don't want like a little, don't want too much of a bathtub effect obviously, but we want to make it a bit more interesting. We're going to have to have lots of grass all along here. So that's kind of that one. And then we're going to have to definitely create terrain painting, subsoil sand. We'll just make all this sand because we can draw our bunker in with heavy rough. That's a nice colour. Then we will put some heavy rough in. We will try and come down through there, through there, through there, through there. We've just filled it in. Open it up. That's not working. That'll do for a minute. So now I can see where I need to bring my fairway round. So I'm going to put that one just in the centre of the fairway sort of thing, if you know what I mean. And come back out that way, back down. I just got to bring that sort of back onto here now. Join it up so that's done that. Now we've got to add our secondary rough there. That's that. Okay, now we can flatten that bit out. We're getting somewhere now. At last. And we're going to raise that little centre section up a little bit. Drop that bit down a bit. Something like that for a minute. Still a little bit big, I think, that bunker. We can do a little bit more with that. I think we just need to pinch that corner off. That's a better shape, and I just need to bring the fairway around a little bit more. But we can do that with one spline. Spline madness on this hole at the moment. What you can do afterwards, once you're settled with your layout, you can just draw a spline around everything you've done and just delete them all. The other ones you don't want. That's kind of working at the moment. Just need that a little bit there raised up. It needs a little bit of microsculpting. Again, we can do all this sort of stuff on the polish. As long as we've got the concept of the hole going, the planting, all this sort of fine stuff is just making it sit right how you want it to sit. But that's all on the fairway, so that's not going to affect anything we're doing, planting or. This is why a lot of people like to plant last. I like to plant first because I'm blooming awkward. It's just the way I've always done it, and it's the way I feel comfortable doing it. At least it tells me how much I can lay down, because it's all about percentages, isn't it? I know roughly if it's going to work, whether I can do the whole course like it. So, rock. Oh, let's click on that. Rock. 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 Ta-da. Get rid of you. That'll do for a moment. Then we had this area here, which we can do similar sort of stuff over here. Got a lot of area to do more rock work. I'm going to save this because I think the tee shot is going to work better now. I've got the angle right, I think. Let's have a look. What the hell is that? Let's come back out of there. What was that? I'm sure you should. Yeah, there. What the hell is going on here? I've never. What is that? I'm gonna try and play it and come back out and see if it does that again. Could have just been a little glitch there, hopefully. Come back out. It's not doing that anymore. Strange. Right, let's go. bit of rock work here. I think it's starting to sort of get the angles that I want now. I think it's starting to work a bit more. So I'm getting a little bit happier with what we're doing. Once we've got it, we'll move blooming quick. It's just getting it right at the moment. It's been a bit fiddly, this design so far. It's what happens when you don't really have anything in mind and you're doing it off the cuff. Sometimes it just flows so quickly. It all works, and this one's being a bit of a git. I haven't really sort of got anything to flow yet, have we? But we're working out our rock work at the moment. We can see what we need to do in terms of rock work. We know what bushes kind of work with it, so it's coming together. It's just been a long process so far. I think we're starting to sort of get there a bit now. Getting a clearer view in my mind of what I want. I think we'll go for a bit of low stuff here around the edge. And we can even do a bit more. We definitely need some more stonework at the back now, because we've moved that all forward, haven't we? So that needs to be addressed. But we can do that pretty quick if we actually get going. We're settling into what we want. That's the main thing. I think I'm going to fill a lot of that in with bush, trees. We can make a little rock island here. Just cover over that a little bit, sink it down nice and low. It's kind of cool. Okay, that's that bit. So in theory, we don't need this bit of land here. We worry about 18 at another point. We can always reintroduce land if we need to, but that's going to open up another little interesting sort of cove here that we could put a little bit more sand in, or dirt, but that's sort of made that sort of, you know, so that's opened it up a more. That's kind of cool. So let's get some nature trees and stuff in there. Start to fill that in. Definitely get these edges filled in. Start blending that little edge in there. One down there, and then we'll change it to the other bush. That's the same one, Steve. That is the one. That one. Can even try taking it right down to the water's edge just to break up some of that rock. Another one there maybe. And then we need to do something with this face here. There's advantages of opening things up and there's disadvantages, because now I've got to do a lot more work along there, but I'm happy to do that. So what I think I'm going to do, I've got loads of this rock under the, if I go here, I've got loads of this rock underneath now. Look, it's just wasting meter, so I'm going to delete all those rocks. I just select them all and then delete them. We're on 2%. This will show me how much that has affected me. So 7.7% that was. We can add all that back in. Now along this edge I'm going to add a bit of the bedrock. Let's get that going through that, and we need to add a little bit of heavy rough along the edge of that fairway. Got funny little kink in our fairway there because of that. So just bring that point out. That should bring that out, and then we got quite a funny shape there. It's because we got a million fairways. It's this one that's causing me issue, so I just need to find that, bring that back. I should sort that out. Right, bit of heavy rough around the edge along here. Done. That's that. How's our path looking here? It needs a bit more flattening through that section. And we can start doing some planting over this side. See what we can get going over here, because it's looking a bit sparse at the moment. Get that flattened out, that's good. So we can definitely do some more rock work, but let's have a look and see what we've done so far with this near bit of rock work and opening that little bay up that we just opened up. See what that looks like off the tee. Pretty coarse. Can't really see too much of it, but we'll see it on the zoom in, so that's fine. I don't know, yeah. As much as I've taken that little bay out, that point out there now, I like it. I don't think I need all this fairway here. I think it's going to work a lot better. Our point's there, so it's not affecting that view side of things. So let's just delete that and that and that. And let's run our fairway in along here. We'll bring it out sort of there. Cut it in around that bunker again. Keep it going through there like it was. Join it onto there. We'll have to just adjust that point in a minute to smooth that out. Bring it all through here. Join that there. Edit the secondary surface in. We've got that great big bit of heavy rough that we don't need now. Delete spine. And now we can add in a bit of grass topsoil and then take it back intensity wise. Add that in there, take it out. Bosh. Get a new heavy rough in along the edge. Done. So now that fairway is looking a lot more menacing. It's a lot tighter. Now we could just add, literally just, we've got to keep it low because I don't want to block off too much of that stuff behind, but we can just start to fill this area in now with just a bit of tree work and stuff. Bring them down in size. We fill it all in up to like this area and then we'll run grass along this bit. Let's change our bush. I definitely need a third bush now that I've got rid of the surface weathering. I don't want it all to look too dark green, you see. We need to add a lighter colour bush in here, which is probably going to end up being my the Old Faithful as a filler. I'm sure you've seen the Old Faithful if you've seen my design videos. We need to add something lighter in, I think. It's just going to break up that dark green and give us like we've added like little surface weathering bits in there. I don't want to overdo it. I want to keep as much dark as I can. We'll just put those in there for now. And we'll go back to our placed ones. We've got all those three to work with now. They're three nice textures really that we can work with. For a minute that'll do, I think. And then what we'll do is we'll get some grass going and just see what that section looks like. Just try and follow the heavy rough sort of bit where it's bled out. Definitely got to come all the way through there. We've got a bit of the auto-gen grass in there, giving it a different colour and texture, which is helping. That's kind of cool. Oh, didn't want that one, so out. That'll do for that for a minute. We'll do another pass with a different one. Is that the only one we've got? I thought I had 3 grasses. This one. Next, we'll just fill in some little areas again to get the fake surface weathering going on. It's a similar sort of shaped grass as that one, just a different colour. We can just add little bits of that in here and there, little clusters of it. And then we've also got the original one which we want, which is there. And this should be a slightly different colour again. It'll just give us something slightly different. Again, we only really want to use it sparingly here and there. Looks okay, but what I would really like is a slightly darker fairway, to be honest. I don't think it's going to give me it. I can't see anything there that's going to be any darker. There's the kind of darkest green we've got, really. So we're just going to add a little bit of stone in here. And I can think we can start to look at adding some stuff around our tee box. We've got a long way to go on this hole still, but I'm starting to get a grip of it, I think. Quote me on that. That's a repeat of the one next to it. Have to put 3 in there to break that up somehow. Make it bigger. Drop it in that little hole. Again, we can cover some of those more repeating bits over with grass, so it doesn't look too similar. Did I say grass? I meant bush. I'm more interested in what it looks like coming down the cliff or the face of this than I am the top part where you got the bigger lumps of the top bit of the rocks showing through. They're just annoying. Get that in. Now we'll try and disguise a bit of that with this. Not that one. Just to break up all that sort of bit there that we can see. We've got loads of little areas to fill in. I'll do for a minute. So I've also got the option to now run some grass through that. Make it a bit bigger. Just fill in all those areas. I'll do for a sec. God, I miss my surface weathering. Could really blend those edges in nicer on that fairway. Please 2K, sort that out. We want surface weathering on the fueled theme, big time. Right, let's finish that area off a bit more now, isn't it? So what have we got left today? 15 minutes. We're getting somewhere now. I've got a clearer mind of what I'm doing, so I think we can start to move a bit faster now. At last. I'll get rid of that grass. Let's get that stonework back in. That needs flattening. And what shape? So now we'll get that stone back in that we randomly placed all over the shop. We don't need that now. Let's find it. Do need to do a save in a sec, so it doesn't crash on me. Right, let's start off with that shape. Now I do need to cut another little bit of bedrock in. There's a little bit of filling in to do there. It is my happy place of designing, really. I can escape into this little world of imagination. Takes me away from stuff. It's quite hectic. I do have spare time that I've got 2 to 4 hours a day where I can do stuff every day that doesn't affect my home life and my family, so it's nice just to get a bit of peace and quiet where I can come here and just do this, because it can be quite hectic at times at home here. Got 2 young kids, a little boy with autism. It can be quite stressful. So let's get that going. That's done for a minute. Let's fill in that blooming little bit here. We use the raise tool for that, I think. It's quite far back, so it doesn't matter too much. We've also got to do a bit of rock work that was out in the water. Like here, this sort of stuff. Let's go small. Change the shape of the run back. Make it a bit bigger. Change the shape, we're getting a lot of repeating going on there. It's all stuff you're going to see off in the distance, so it doesn't matter too much. It's doing its job through there. Okay, let's have a look at our drive again and save it. Again on the polish, I will straighten all these things up like this, it's not quite centre. Do things like that, but we don't need to worry too much at the minute. Save. It's looking okay. We've definitely got more room to get a clubhouse area in again. It's just working out what sort of clubhouse I want to use. How long we got left? 8 minutes. We'll spend a tiny bit of time trying to see if we can get anything going along here. We could build a whole clubhouse. Got lots of shacks to work with. I quite like something like this. We've got to make it look clubhousey, but you know, something sort of oldie fashioned, not that one. Not that one. We can do lots of building up of loads of little bits. Separate that. Probably won't see that for a minute anyway. Let's try and keep that bit open, see how much of that we can see. Play course. Yeah. We can definitely do something with that. It's quite cute. That's that bit then. So just where that red flower is on the right of my 100%, I want to start to see if I can get some sort of bush along there, just to cover up that corner. I don't want to take it too high. Where's our red flower? On the T there. So we'll try some of the bushes we've got at the moment, already used. Try and keep them low. Try and keep that red flower in for a minute. That's that. We'll change the bush to that one, I think. Just bring it down. Get something like that going on, and then we'll add, in between all that, we'll add the lighter one. Just to bring in some different colours in there. Find the right spot. That's for a second, and then we will try to have a look at that. Let's save it quick. We've got 5 minutes left of this one. I'm getting somewhere now, I know where I'm going. So we can just take that a little bit higher now, in between that 100% and the edge of the screen. I've got that green bit there. I want to keep the water, so I just want to fill in that green area really. So just to the right of that flower, I'm going to try and find a different bush that will work in there. Somewhere here that's got to be taller. Trees. Take the place there, go to bushes. I don't really want to use a yellow, do I? That could work, something like that. It's got to be quite tall to fill in the area I want to fill in. You definitely need to taper off the edges a little bit. Like that. And there is another one I had in mind. Definitely not that. Definitely not that. Too light. Got these funky ones. I could just use a little bit of just the top bits of this one. Just to give it like a twiggy effect to the original bush that's already there. Try that for a minute. Nature trees, get rid of that one. See if that shows up. It may not even show up in that lighting. As you can see, it needs to just be a little bit more to the left and a bit higher. So we could even go for like a small tree in theory. Let's try and get this done before the end of the video. Thanks for watching anyway, everyone. I will speed up now because I kind of got an idea in my head of what I'm doing now. Got a direction at last. We've got those new birches, which some of them are quite small. I can get the tree bit sticking out through there, the trunk rather. Just wondering what that does out of interest. Whether it's too high or not. It's too much of a round blob for my light. It's not what we want. 1 minute and 30 seconds. I don't know if I'll be able to get this done. But anyway, I'll carry on quickly for the next minute. Thanks for watching, everyone. There's going to be a few more parts, isn't there, to this. I think at the end of it we're going to get something interesting. I hope. Otherwise it's been a completely blooming pointless endeavour. But we will. We'll get something going. I just think the leaves are a bit too big on that one. It's more to the height I want. We're definitely going to have to fill that in with something a bit more defined, which would be that one. I wonder if that fills in that space I'm trying to fill in now. It does fills it in there. I can still see the water. That's working for what I want to achieve there.